Yang kalian tadi bilang panas.
Halo semuanya, selamat datang di podcast obrolan warung kopi. Aku Vira, yang siap nyeduh obrolan seru buat kamu.
Dan aku Rafi, yang tugasnya nyampurin gula biar ngobrolnya makin manis. Hari ini topiknya tidak kalah hangat, yaitu tentang macro outlook dan automation dalam membantu pekerjaan. Oke Vira, langsung aja ya. Sebelum kopinya keburu dingin, apa pertanyaan pertamamu?
Okay, Rafi, so let's dive right in. When we talk about the macro outlook impacting automation in the workplace, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Is there a specific industry or trend that stands out to you right now?
Vira, that's a great question to kick us off. The first thing that pops into my head is the skills gap. As automation becomes more prevalent, we're seeing a growing need for workers who can manage and maintain these automated systems. It's creating a real demand for new skills and training programs.
That's a really interesting point, Rafi. So are we talking more about a skills shift rather than just a skills gap? Like, are some jobs becoming obsolete while completely new roles are being created because of automation?
Absolutely, Fira. It's definitely more of a shift. While some routine tasks are being automated away, new opportunities are emerging in areas like data analysis, AI development, and robotic maintenance. It's about adapting to the changing demands of the job market.
So, if businesses know this shift is happening, why aren't more companies investing heavily in retraining their current employees? Is it a cost issue, or is there something else holding them back?
That's a multi-layered issue, Fira. Cost is definitely a factor, especially for smaller businesses. But beyond that, there's also the challenge of identifying the right skills to train for, and the uncertainty of whether employees will even embrace the new roles after retraining. It's a risk assessment for many companies.
That makes sense. So, from a macro perspective, how does government policy play into all of this? Should governments be more involved in funding or incentivizing retraining programs to mitigate potential job losses?
Governments have a crucial role to play, Fira. Incentivizing retraining programs through tax breaks or grants can definitely encourage businesses to invest in their workforce. Furthermore, governments can also invest in education systems to prepare future generations for the jobs of tomorrow.
Interesting. So beyond just funding, what about policies that actively promote the creation of jobs that are less susceptible to automation? Are there specific industries or sectors governments should be focusing on?
Absolutely. Focusing on sectors that require uniquely human skills like creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence is key. Think healthcare, education, and certain aspects of the arts and sciences. Government support for these sectors can help create a more resilient job market.
That's a great point, Rafi. So if we're talking about supporting specific sectors, how do we balance that with the need for innovation in other fields, where automation might be more beneficial overall? It feels like a delicate balancing act. That's a really complex question. How do we avoid stifling progress while still protecting workers? Do we need to consider a universal basic income as a safety net? Or are there other approaches that are more sustainable in the long run?
Universal basic income is definitely a popular suggestion, Vera. However, a more sustainable approach might be focusing on skills development accounts that individuals can use throughout their lives to continuously upskill and reskill, adapting to the changing job market.
That makes a lot of sense, Rafi. So instead of just handing out money, we're empowering people to adapt. How do we make sure these skills development programs are actually effective and relevant to the future job market? What kind of skills should people be focusing on right now?
That's the million-dollar question, Farah. Soft skills like adaptability, communication, and problem-solving are crucial, but so are technical skills in areas like data analysis, cybersecurity, and AI itself. The key is to create flexible programs that can adapt to emerging trends.
So if we know these are the key skills, Rafi, how do we get more people, especially those from disadvantaged backgrounds, access to these programs? Is it just a matter of funding? Or are there other barriers we need to address?
Funding is definitely a major piece of the puzzle, Farah, but it's not the only barrier. We also need to address issues like digital literacy, access to technology, and even awareness of these opportunities. Targeted outreach and mentorship programs can make a huge difference.
That's true, Rafi. It's not just about having the money, but knowing where to spend it and having the confidence to take the leap. Do you think companies themselves have a role to play in bridging this skills gap, perhaps through apprenticeships or on-the-job training programs?
Absolutely, Farah. Companies benefit directly from a skilled workforce, so investing in apprenticeships and training programs is a smart move. It's a win-win situation. They get the talent they need, and individuals gain valuable skills and experience.
And what about the ethical considerations, Rafi? As automation becomes more prevalent, how do we ensure that it's used responsibly and doesn't exacerbate existing inequalities?
That's a crucial question, Farah. We need to think about the impact of automation on jobs and ensure that workers are supported through reskilling and upskilling initiatives. We also need to be mindful of biases that can be embedded in AI systems and work to mitigate them.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but also about the human element and how we manage the transition. Are there any specific industries you see as being particularly vulnerable to job displacement due to automation? And what can be done to prepare those workers?
Definitely, Farah. Manufacturing and transportation are two sectors that immediately come to mind. Investing in training programs that equip workers with skills in areas like robotics, maintenance, data analysis, and software development can help them adapt and find new opportunities. Exactly, and it's not just about preventing job losses, but also creating new, higher-skilled jobs that complement automation. We should be aiming for a future where humans and AI work together.
Kerjasama? Kedengarannya terlalu utopis buatku, Rafi. Bukannya nanti AI malah jadi bos yang nyuruh-nyuruh manusia melulu? Atau jangan-jangan kita malah jadi peliharaannya AI?
Peliharaan AI. Wah, Fira, imajinasimu memang liar. Tapi serius, kita harus fokus menciptakan regulasi yang jelas untuk memastikan AI digunakan secara etis dan bertanggung jawab. Jadi, bukan kita yang jadi peliharaan, tapi AI yang jadi pelayan kita.
Pelayan tapi lama-lama ngatur juga kan ujungnya? Kayak asisten virtual yang awalnya cuma nyetelin alarm, sekarang udah berani ngasih saran investasi. Ngeri!
Nah, itu dia tantangannya, Fira. Kita harus memastikan bahwa kendali tetap ada di tangan manusia. Pertanyaannya,